So it's day number 1 on a new land. And we come onto a land, and this one's going to be for Marina Villa, which has got a beautiful view. The important part about what we do is that when we build very well. So some of the techniques that we've seen in this video, those and many, many more go into making a high quality villa that goes onto a wonderful location. Very soon we'll be laying the concrete on Marina Villa. 12 months later, we'll be handing over the keys to the owner. Can you just imagine sitting in a chair, lovely veranda, looking over the pool, enjoying this beautiful view and having the peace of mind to know everything's been done very well, properly. That's your day number 1 of enjoying a new life in Madeira. When a client comes to visit us in Madeira, one of the things that's really on their mind is location. And of course it's very exciting because it's often their first visit. So imagine they come here, they see a land like this, and this is a bit of a building site because we're building all around at the moment. But this has views 170 degrees along the coast. It's wonderful, but it's inclined. If they select a plot like this, this implies we're going to have quite serious construction. And the same construction method is true for every one of our plots. So a land like this requires heavy retaining walls. And over here, we actually have one. So this retaining wall, which we've just put in, this is part of Villa Washington. This retaining wall is made with a pure concrete. Now the concrete we use in our company doesn't use the sand that's being extracted out at sea at the moment in the ship that's over here. This is actually a totally different type of sand we use, and this has no salt in it whatsoever, so it has no corrosive properties. And this concrete is the same concrete quality we use that are used for making the bridges in Madeira and the tunnels. And this creamy colour is what to look for. And sometimes we see retaining walls in Madeira which have got sandy colours, and that's because they're using too much of the wrong type of sand. Let's move on. So now we're actually inside a site at the very earliest stage, and what we're doing in here is just looking at the concrete walls again. And this is the same concrete over here, but it's still wet. So we've actually had these clamps on the concrete, setting it into place, and we're moving them along, and you can see that we've got some rebar in here. And this rebar, if we use the wrong type of sand, and no client would ever know if we did, maybe in 5 years' time or maybe 10 years' time, the salt inside would start to corrode that bar. So over here, when we come back and we see this, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, this is going to be white as white, the same colour as that serious retaining wall outside. So this really is the middle of the rough end. Let's come out here. Okay, so this is actually good to see. So this on here is a very, very nice way and how concrete should be set properly. This is actually one of our steel plates that we use on the side of a wall, on each side, to put them together. And we've just taken this off. We have to clean it before we reuse it. And then over the top of this, what the guys are doing is they're putting on there a non-stick coating. And then after that's been put on, we'll put it into place. And later on today, maybe in another hour, I can't see a concrete lorry here, we'll be pouring concrete again. Leaving Villa Washington, we step onto the road area again. And this road area from the top to the bottom just here, this was an inclined plot. This meant this had quite big inclinations. But the road we built in at this angle, by taking out this vast amount of rock, which was a very big job, has meant we've got an inclination of just 7%. And that's really what our clients come to us for. That means that all the other plots in this particular area are going to have this very nice smooth access. And that's a sign of very good construction. Let's carry on. It's about 10 days from Christmas. We're at the village villa and it's looking just wonderful. I can see that we've got our aluminium being installed and glass is going in soon. So our aim is to seal this by Christmas. And we're only a few weeks away from handing over the keys to our French client, who's delighted. So let's go and have a look around. I already noticed as we come in the site that we've got some pallets delivered of our stone flooring, which is for the drive, and we got a couple of bits over here. So the guys have already got the gate lined up to come across. And when you see something like this, it means that we're preparing to go from the inside to working on the outside, which means we're getting ready to seal the building, which is very good. And this TRIEF to talk about the quality of how we do things, we actually concrete this into place. We don't lay it on sand. That way, this is good and doesn't move ever. It's a very nice touch. So let's carry on, look around inside. Just come into the garage, how this wall has really been brought into the garage space. We've rendered it into the position it's in. It's a really nice touch. I am delighted with this villa. The aluminium is already in place and it's really nice to see. And here, some of the detailing. As you can see that we've actually put this in, sunk it into the ground, so this goes smoothly from one side to the other. And they've also chosen to do it in a very nice champagne color, which is great. Outside, very contrasting. They've actually used a wooden tile on the inside. Outside here, they've used what I can only describe as like a copper oxide. Actually looks great. Then outside over here, we've got the channeling already all in place, where we're going to put and we're going to seal in here the glass veranda. And we've also got the drains, something that a lot of companies don't do. Drains are in place so that any water gets on here, gets out right away. So coming into detail of glasswork and water, specifically what we do with the water, is that here you can see that we've got the inside and the outside, and the aluminium has just gone in. So we've buried the aluminium into the ground so that we can go smoothly from inside to out. That's a much nicer finish and it's a much more technical finish. And technically, means that we have to put drains in here. Of course, we do it properly, not everybody does, so that any water that comes onto the glass doesn't just fall over the top of the porcelain and then just sit there soaking wet for ages. And then on the outside just here, in terms of the glasswork we're going to put on here for the balcony railing, underneath here is actually the channel where we're going to put a piece of pure glass in here, and right in the middle of this there's another drain. And it's these little details here. Unless you've got all the drains into place and you've got everything in the right position, you get ingress into a house later. And that's something we really want to avoid. So we've come over to our carpenters, and our carpenters also supply us with most of our electrical goods. This is Raimundo Ramos, and they're an on-trade supplier. They're a big place. There's lots and lots of things in here. We also do televisions here as well, but what we're looking for and what we're interested in is upstairs. This is quite interesting. So we've actually got 3 appliances together. They're all the same brand. They're all Miele. It's a brand we like very much. This is actually the coffee machine. We've got the oven here. We've got the microwave just here. And this is a very nice way of doing a presentation. And of course, this is about detailing. The detailing starts normally about the same time we get the structure up. We start doing the design for the kitchen itself. And it's these little details, again, that make all the difference, such as making sure we've got the plumbing in place at the very earliest stage inside the wall for this very nice coffee machine. We hand over the keys of a project. The client's living there. Friends come and visit. They come in, they see the kitchen, they see these wonderful finishes and go, oh, wow, I want a place like this myself. Wow, your oven's the best oven I've ever seen. I love the way that your hob has central extraction that goes down inside. And I love the way that the television works on the wall. I mean, and it's like just so well done. These are finishes. These are very important, but it's all the other details that go in with that as well, and all the supporting wire work and cables and pipe works that make a project happen.